Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we back up in the building for another No News, Just Facts podcast. Yeah. We back up in here for episode 77. You know, the Super Bowl just came and went, you feel me? And I want to talk about every single problem with this year's Super Bowl. We're going to start with all of the performances. I think I'm leaving out one performance that I didn't see here, and that's probably, what's his name? Chris Stapleton or whatever? Is that his name? Chris Stapleton? I believe he was there performing. I missed out on this part of it. Chris Stapleton. I'm going to throw that somewhere when I get a chance. But for now, we just going to keep this one up here. And, so first, we are going to start with what is her name? Cheryl Ralph Lee? Or Cheryl Lee Ralph? I don't want to get her name, I don't want to say her name incorrectly. So I'm gonna just make sure I'm saying it correctly. Let me just make sure. Let me just make sure I'm saying it correctly. Cheryl Lee Ralph. Make sure I'm saying her name correctly. Yes, it's Cheryl Lee Ralph. All right. Cheryl Lee Ralph with the Black National Anthem. First of all, I did not know she could sing that well. Let me tell you what's wrong with this. For as long as the Super Bowl has been broadcasted on television, for as long as the Super Bowl has been watched all over the world, for as long as the Super Bowl has been in February, which the Super Bowl has always been in February, the NFL has never cared to display their respect for Black History Month, let alone Black Americans in this country, by paying homage to anything that has to do with Black people. And all of a sudden, now we got the Black National Anthem at the Super Bowl? That's never happened. When has that ever happened? Roger Goodell don't know nothing about no damn Black National Anthem. What? Huh? That just makes it feel so fake. It just makes it feel fake, like, yeah, oh yeah, now, everybody wants to be woke. Everybody wants to be fake woke. And it starts there. But then we go into Babyface. And when I like I said, I missed all of this. I didn't really get to see it, but I was talking with my homeboy, and he was telling me, hey, Babyface is out here singing. I'm like, what does Robert Kraft know about Babyface? Huh? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does the owner, that guy who owns the Jaguars, who does he even know? Do any of them know who Babyface is? Hell no. What? Babyface. Y'all got Babyface out there on the football field. This is all the workings of one Sean Carter, because don't none of these football fans know who Cheryl Lee Ralph is, or Babyface? Who the hell is so? It's a person really at home watching this part of the Super Bowl. Talk about who is Babyface. What is a Babyface? What's that? What's that? Can we get to the game? Like these other folk don't know who Babyface is. Like they it's crazy. And then let me get into Rihanna's performance. It was cool. It was you know what I'm saying? She did that. I give her that. However, this is another one of those instances where unfortunately, I don't think these owners have any stinking idea who Rihanna is either. Amidst the controversy of DT saying Rihanna is horrible, is horrible. I'm speaking verbatim, but he said she's horrible. And then you got Kodak Black talking about Rihanna is talking about Uncle DT said that Rihanna is trash. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like he's really perpetuating a type of like love to somebody just because they freed him out of jail. It's so weird. It's so weird. But you know what's even more funny than that? DT freed ASAP Rocky, but ASAP Rocky has been quiet since he was freed from Sweden. Isn't that funny? Isn't that crazy? I don't hear Lil Wayne saying a lick of nothing about that whole thing with him and him almost like for real going to jail. But that's another story. That's for another time. But let's get into the game. The game, the first half was, it went how it went. Now, it's the second half that really made me feel weird because I was like, the Eagles didn't really look like they was playing for real in the second half. They like, when I say that, I mean like, it's like somewhere along like the last like 2 minutes of the third quarter going into the rest of the whole entire fourth quarter, the Eagles weren't like really putting up no real effort. Like it's like they already had it in their mind that, hey, we gonna lose this one. Like, shout out to Jalen Hurts. He's from here. And shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles, but it's like right around the second half is just where things just started to feel weird. Like usually in a sporting competition, like teams put up, a valued effort, but it just felt so weird. It felt like I was playing Madden or something like that. It's just like no effort on one side of the ball versus like the Chiefs. And even then the Chiefs weren't really like doing, putting up an amazing effort like that. But I mean, at the same time, of course, they're probably the favorited. And then we have to remember and put into question that, like, how on another episode of a podcast, I was talking about Arian Foster and how he said that like the NFL is scripted. And I jokingly said that it was cap. I do believe at some point I actually felt like it might be a thing where Pat Mahomes was going to lose and they were going to like Cam Newton Pat Mahomes. But Pat Mahomes isn't really like an outspoken dude like that. He just stays in his place, let them let them put since since TB12 is gone now, they gotta have somebody to put in his space. And I'm not saying that Pat Mahomes is that guy, but hey, they need a new face of the league, and the new face of the league is gonna be Pat Mahomes for quite some time. So they got to put somebody in the driver's seat that they can trust, that they know won't talk out of term or anything like that. And I believe that, in some way or form, Pat Mahomes is going to be that guy for a long time. Um, I do believe that Joe Burrows will be back with the Cincinnati Bengals next year. The next Super Bowl is probably going to be the Bengals and the Chiefs. Might be. I just think in my heart of hearts that Joe Burrows will be back. But yeah, I just thought the game was it just felt weird. It just felt weird. It just felt like a gimme for the Chiefs. Of course, the Chiefs won. They're the Super Bowl champions yet again. Um, I don't know. I go right back to what Arian Foster said about that script stuff, and then I start to think like, maybe he was right. I don't know. He might have been right. I don't know. I only time will tell if that's true or not. I mean, then again, one could say that all sports are rigged to a certain degree. But then again, I mean, like I said, betting is legal now. So I'm thinking in my head that like the over and under for betting was on the Chiefs to win over the Eagles. I mean, they have it's a former coach, playing against his old team. I fired him so many years ago. That's like a redemption story. So the NFL has a great narrative on that. And yeah, I Super Bowl was meh. I ain't pay attention to none of the Super Bowl commercials because I mean, I just don't care that much. I mean, I don't really be looking forward to Super Bowl commercials anyways. Like a bunch of capitalisms. Like I don't care. The only thing that I thought was hilarious was the dang Tubi commercial. I thought that Tubi commercial was hilarious because I really thought there was something wrong with my TV. I really thought there was something wrong with my TV. Tubi done messed around and snuck a dang commercial on into one of these snuck their commercial into one of these commercials. That was funny. They did a good job. I gotta give it to them. But overall, just it's so fake. This the Super Bowl just felt fake, man. It just felt fake. Minus, I don't know. Nah, everything just felt fake. Everything about this Super Bowl just felt completely fake, just because of the way everything was lined up. Like ever since Jay-Z got with the NFL, I ain't gonna lie. Some of it has been cool. Like last year was good. Last year felt dope. Like last year felt dope, at least for the fact that I got to see Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, and Mary J. Blige all on one stage. And this was at the Super Bowl. Like you might not, I'm probably never gonna see nothing like that again in my life. And it was cool to just say like, yeah, I got to see that on television. Um, but this year, it just I don't know, something felt weird. Something felt weird about this one. Um, yeah, man, there's a lot of other things we need to get into, so y'all stay tuned. Artificial intelligence has been a topic of much discussion and speculation in recent years, with some experts predicting that it will soon take over the modern economy. Today, I will be exploring a video in which Gary Vee is talking about the future of AI. Without further ado, let's get into it.
AI is the tractor. And for the people who understand what I'm saying, here it is. Most people worked on farms back in the day. And then a tractor came out. And everyone's like, fuck that. We're all out of fucking jobs. And then people found new jobs. So what do I think? I think you can have any opinion you want. Technology doesn't give a shit about your opinion. It's gonna do what it's gonna do. And it's not gonna stop. So if you do a job that AI is capable of doing soon, you should think about that. Do you understand I gave this same keynote in 1997? The analogy I used then was, look, if you're the top salesman or saleswoman for the yellow pages, you might want to consider what Yahoo and Google are doing. AI is going to do a lot of shit, and it should. And I love the hypocrisy. I love the hypocrisy. You love technology when it works for you. Everyone's like, fuck technology. I'm like, don't order from Seamless, dick. You love that. We are the greatest era of hypocrites ever. Like, and so we have to reconcile that. So what do I think about AI? I think it's coming, and I think it's coming fast. And it's gonna be awesome, and there's gonna be certain rule changes, and humans have proven to me through the last thousands of years that they have the ability to adjust to the new reality and deal with it. AI.
Interesting what he just got on here and said. While this may seem like a far-fetched idea, there is no denying that AI has already made significant inroads into various industries and is rapidly changing the way we work and do business. It is important to understand the various forms of AI and how they are being used in the economy. AI can be broadly classified into three categories: narrow AI, general AI, and super intelligent AI. Narrow AI is designed to perform a specific task, such as playing chess or driving a car. This form of AI is already being used in many industries, such as finance and retail, to automate routines and improve efficiency. General AI, on the other hand, is designed to be capable of a wide range of tasks, which is the one I'm sure Gary Vee was just talking about. Similar to human intelligence, this form of AI is still in the early stages of development and is not yet widely used in the economy. Finally, super intelligent AI refers to an AI system that is capable of surpassing human intelligence in many and all domains. While this form of AI is not yet possible, it has been the subject of much speculation and concern in the AI community, which is probably another type of AI that Gary Vee is talking about when he talks about AI is coming and AI is developing fast. A lot of the things he said in this video are true, not even just with AI, just technology in general is like probably 20,000 steps ahead every year. And every year something new comes out that you didn't know about before, but now you do because they had been developing it and running it and testing it and doing whatever it is. And before you know it, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be replaced. Like you're going to go into a grocery store and there's not going to be any employees. It's going to be all robots, I bet, you know? Just to get back to it, one of the most obvious ways in which AI is likely to impact the economy is through automation, which is what we're already, I believe that's another thing we're living through right now with, Chat GPT or Jasper or any one of the AIs that are used to like automate things for us. As AI systems become more sophisticated and are able to perform a wide range of tasks, They will increasingly replace human workers in a variety of industries. This has the potential to greatly improve efficiency and reduce costs for companies, but it will also lead to job losses for workers, according to a report by the World Economic Forum. Up to 75 million jobs could be displaced by AI by 2025. That's crazy. 2025? Bro, it's only 2023. That is crazy. However, while automation is likely to have a significant impact on the economy, it is not only it is not the only way in which AI is likely to shape the future. AI is also likely to lead to the development of new products and services and to drive innovation in a variety of industries. For example, AI powered healthcare systems have the potential to revolutionize the way we diagnose and treat diseases, while AI powered financial systems could greatly improve the efficiency of financial industry. In order to ensure that AI is used in a responsible and ethical manner, it is important to address a number of challenges. First and foremost, there is the issue of bias. AI systems are only good as the data they are trained on. And if this data is biased, the AI system will be too. This can lead to discriminatory outcomes and could undermine the AI systems. Another important challenge is ensuring that AI systems are secure. As AI systems become more sophisticated, they will be able to access and process more sensitive data, making them a target for hackers and cyber criminals. It will be important to develop robust security systems that can protect against these threats and ensure that AI systems are not for malicious purposes. Finally, it is important to ensure that AI systems are transparent and explainable. AI systems often make decisions based on complex algorithms that are difficult for humans to understand. This can lead to a lack of trust in AI systems and make it difficult to hold them accountable. To overcome this challenge, it will be important to develop AI systems that are transparent and can explain their decision making processes to humans. So, with that being said, is the AI, though this whole crop of like AI, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Do you care? Me personally, I think it was always inevitable that AI, was gonna, and not even just AI, just technology in general, was gonna come to a point where, yeah, things are going to be replaced and a lot of things won't be needed as much that are like common necessities for us. So that's kind of like what I think about it. But what do you guys think about it? And I'll be back with more videos. I found this post on Instagram, and I thought, why not? Let's talk about it because you never really get to hear about like interracial relationships back in like the 1940s, the 50s, the 60s, or the 70s. So much so, I believe the 70s is when interracial marriage was passed to be acceptable. So I'm just gonna read this post and I'm gonna go in depth a little more. Vintage interracial couples that was down with the swirl. That's what was wrote. They wrote that there. Interracial relationships have taken place in America since colonial times, but couples in such romances continue to face problems and challenges. America's first mulatto child was born in 1620 when the enslavement of black people became institutionalized in the U.S. However, anti miscegenation. I've never heard that word before. Anti miscegenation miscegenation laws surfaced in various states that barred such unions, thereby stigmatized them. Miscegenations is defined by sexual relations between people from different racial groups. The term stems from the Latin word miscere, ingenious, miscere genius, okay, which means to mix and race, respectively. A major reason interracial relationships continue to carry stigma is their association with violence. Although in early America, members of different races openly procreated with one another, the introduction of institutionalized enslavement changed the nature of such relationships entirely. I'm not going to say that word. Uh, the blank of African American women by enslavers, plantation owners, and other powerful whites during this period have cast an ugly shadow on genuine relationships between black women and white men. On the flip side, African American men who so much as looked at a white woman could be unalived, and brutally so. When civil rights activists married, they not only challenge laws, but sometimes their own families. Even someone who dates interracially today runs the risk of incurring the disapproval of friends and family. Such opposition to interracial relationships has been documented in American literature for centuries. And these are all the pictures of interracial couples throughout periods of time. This one looks like it's like in 1960, 1950, or something like that. Black man with a white woman. Okay, and then you got, I believe this is a black couple, and then you got a black woman with a white man, and of course, a black woman with a white man. And then you got a black woman, a black man. Oops, wait, bring it up here so you guys can see it. I don't know. Matter of fact, let me go back to that one. I don't know if you can even see that one. Just move it. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me just move it to where it can be seen. Yeah, I'll just keep it this way right here. And then you have a, like I said, you have a. Let me see. Hold up. Let me fix this real quick, just so you guys can see it. Black woman, white man, and a black woman with a white man. Okay, and then you got this one, of course. You have a black man and a white woman, and this and Buddy in the background. Buddy in the background is so offended by this right here. So offended. So offended. And then let me see if this one can be seen. Okay, this is a different one. This is an Asian American woman and a white American man. Okay, and then you got a white American man and a black American woman. And then you got, oh wow, this is a little bit harder. This is let me see, is that a Hispanic woman with a white American man? Or is that a black American woman? I would have to know by seeing if it's in like, if there's like a color version of this picture, just to know. And then you got an Asian American woman, I believe, and that may be a Hispanic American man. Maybe, I can't tell if he's African American or Hispanic American. That's definitely a Asian American woman. Then this is ooh, wow. Definitely can't see this. Let me fix this real quick. Let me see. See if I can fix this and bring this down. Okay. Is that good? Does that work? All right. All right. So this is a Black American woman and a Asian American man, and then finally this. Wow. This is a Black American woman and a white American man. Just to like continue on that, bring this over here actually. Just to bring this over here. Okay. Just to like, continue on this interracial thing. Interracial couples, also known as mixed race couples, are relationships between individuals from different racial or ethnic backgrounds. Interracial relationships have become increasingly more common in recent decades as society has become more accepting and tolerant of diversity. However, despite this progress, interracial couples still face unique challenges and obstacles. One of the main challenges faced by interracial couples is societal disapproval and discrimination in the past. Interracial relationships were illegal, of course, in many parts of the world and were heavily stigmatized. While laws prohibiting interracial relationships have been abolished, prejudice and discrimination still exist in some parts of society. Interracial couples may face negativity and judgment from family members, friends, and strangers, and may be even the targets of hate crimes. Another challenge faced by interracial couples is cultural differences. When two individuals from different cultural backgrounds come together, they must navigate and understand each other's cultural practices, values, and beliefs. This can be particularly difficult if one partner is from a dominant culture and the other from a marginalized culture. Differences in language, customs, and values can create misunderstandings and conflicts, but with open communication and willingness to learn and understand these challenges can be overcome. Despite the challenges, interracial relationships can also bring about many benefits. When individuals from different cultures come together, they have the opportunity to learn each other's background, beliefs, and traditions. This can broaden their understanding and application of different cultures and lead to more tolerant and accepting society. Interracial couples can also provide a unique and diverse perspective on the world, and their relationships can help to break down barriers and stereotypes. Interracial relationships have become increasingly common in recent decades, but they still face unique challenges and obstacles despite societal disapproval and discrimination, cultural differences, and other challenges. Interracial relationships can also bring about many benefits. By celebrating diversity and promoting understanding and acceptance, interracial couples can play an important role in creating more tolerant and accepting in the world. So basically, just to even give like examples, of course, like if a Hispanic person is dating a black person, of course, that's gonna bring some type of some type of ordeal because there are a lot of like Hispanic people who don't like black people. Or here's another example. So I'm Nigerian. Um, I don't think well like a Nigerian person. Well, a Nigerian person like dating or marrying a black American person. That's another one that I don't think is like really still accepted, even though it's like no, you can actually find a black American woman or a black American man that is raised good, raised right. And I'm sure it's vice versa. Black American people say probably tell their children that, hey, you know, don't bring home an African boy because African boys are scammers, or don't bring home an African woman because African woman is this or that or whatever. It's all interracial interracial dating or interracial couples. The hate that comes from it is all built on top of like stereotypical just BS that was drum up by a family member or grandma or somebody in the family that just don't like, or all they saw in their childhood, and so they teach their child that, and in turn the child grows up and thinks just like mommy and daddy, or the uncle and auntie, or grandma or grandpa, and it's disgusting. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's terrible. You know, it's terrible. We have to. We're supposed to be molding the next generation, and some are just keeping the next generation back by teaching them the old ways and not teaching that, hey, it's possible to be different and you know not continue to like if somebody wants to be outside of their race just because, let them do it. It's their life. You're not marrying that person. Why does it matter to you? You know? When will we get over this jealousy, this mind jumbling discrimination that has been taught for generations? When are we going to get over that? I don't know. You know, if you love black women and you're a black man, congratulations. If you don't, if you've had bad luck with black women and you're a black man, and you decide not to be with a be with a black woman, okay. I'm not gonna scold you for that. I mean, that's not how I feel, but okay. You know, um, I remember vividly there was a back when I worked at this caregiver job or whatever. There was this guy who specifically said that and this is a black man. He specifically said that he didn't date black women, and I asked him like, why don't you date black women? And he said like, black women got attitudes and they mean and all this. I'm like, well, what is you dating into another race? What makes you think that same stuff that you say black women are have attitudes and this and that and the third? What makes you think that's not going to happen with the person of a different race that you are dating? Like, what makes you think that's not going to happen? He's like, oh, it's just different. And he just started going into this spiel and stuff. And I'm just like, well, that's a dumb logic to have. But I mean, that's a lot of younger black men that think like that, you know? Um, I wish it wasn't that way, but that's the way it is. It's like a black woman will be angry at a black man for dating a white woman, right? But when a black woman is dating a white man, black men for some reason are not allowed to get angry about it. I don't get it, but yeah, that's the whole gist of this video. All right, so in this uh clip right here, we're going to be taking a look at NBA YoungBoy's this clip in which he's saying that he's terrified of people in his latest interview with Billboard. Um, you know, first things first, NBA YoungBoy is one of these artists that doesn't really do interviews. You know, it's just he's just one of those artists that like put out the music and you know listen to the. I don't. He doesn't do interviews. Almost no interviews. Not that many. Even if he does do some, he's just one of those. Hey, let me do. Let me focus on the music, and that's it. But obviously, he has a publicist that he has a publicist in the record company in which he signed to are trying to make him more human. And with that being what it is, he probably had to, they probably threw some stipulations of, hey, we don't know you, we don't have a personality factor to sell your music. I mean, we know you make a lot of music and, you know, people go and listen to your music and you have millions and billions of streams and millions and billions of streams on certain platforms, and that's all good and well and fine, but there's no actual personality factor in all of this. The thing that makes a artist relatable is the fact that they can grasp who you are outside of your music. Even people like The Weeknd or Future, um, these are your people who will do dozens and dozens of records and stack them together like a neat little family in a mansion and begin to pump out as much music as they can without ever actually talking to a media or, speaking to a magazine or talking on video, going to a podcast and talking to somebody. Things of that nature. Somebody like Bryson Tiller, who, even if he does an interview, it's not going to be on camera. Like, I remember vividly, I watched a Hot 97 interview and he didn't want it on camera. Like, he wanted to just do strictly audio. So it's things like that that make you like understand that, like, okay, this is touch and go, and this person is not really an extrovert. They're more of a introvert. They don't really want a lot of eyeballs on them as far as like, hey, let me get a personality of who you are. So the relatability of the music can match up with the fanatic who is either spending the money or streaming the music or the
About it. I just have a lot of people that know me, I guess. I'm terrified of people. I am very scared of people. Like on my kids. I am terrified of people. And I'm very shy. But I never knew why once I walk on the stage, I could get it done and leave. But I'm terrified of people. People are cruel. It's like you can't control ourselves. So you never know what someone will do you. I'm not famous.
You're gonna find this crazy when I say that I think this is like, at first when I seen like, because I had like looked at this a little bit, it looked like it looked a lot like it really looked like what is it, the whole entire interview looked like a AI orchestrated orchestrated video in which young boy is sitting on this, like, I'm just gonna give you guys a visual. Young boy is sitting in this chair and it's a blue screen, like a blue screen behind him. Like, this is all of this is feels like a mirage in some sort of way. It doesn't even feel like he's there because of the way he looks in the interview. Um, Gather whether it's real or not is to be remained in question. Um, and when I say real, I mean like the emotional part of it. Him talking about he's scared of people. Um, I feel as though like he's one of the richest rappers who doesn't really flaunt his money, because of like whatever the situation is with him. You don't really see him on social media like that. Uh, and he just drops music countless times. Like, I mean, young boy drops so much that it's hard to keep up if you're not somebody who's a cult like fan of his. Uh, but do I believe that a famous person can be scared of just human interaction or people? Yeah, especially when you have all the money you can ask for and you hide your personality from the public. Yeah, I do believe that's possible. Um, is this real? Is this really who he is? I mean, he just told you what it is, but hey, is it an act or is it real? I'm not sure. Only time will tell. See, when you have money and you have control, nobody can tell you anything because you run the whole entire show, right? Money and control. When you control something, you're manipulating. You can manipulate it with money, you can manipulate it with behavioral tactics, you can manipulate as much as possible. That's the art of control, manipulation. And you can do it for as long as you want. And that's because of money. Why do I say all of that? Well, as you can see here, this video right here, it says Scooter Braun speaks on acquiring quality control with Coach K and P on the Ari Melber show. Now, if you don't know who Scooter Braun is a manager. I believe he's managed such acts as Taylor Swift. Of course, he's Justin Bieber's manager, amongst other things. So, basically, Scooter Braun is a partner with Coach K and P. More so from what I can like see or from what let me just like find an article real quick just to put more light on this one. Let me see here. Look this up real quick because I'm gonna connect the dots really fast with this one. Really fast. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay. Quality control. All right, here's a article from Pitchfork. It says Hybe, the South Korean company that represents BTS, Tomorrow Together, Lee Hun, and more, has acquired the Atlanta hip hop label Quality Control. The Hollywood Reporter and the New York Times reports the $300 million deal was led by Hybe America CEO Scooter Braun, who oversaw the cash and stock purchase. Hybe will pay a $250 million purchase price and issue $50 million in new stock. Braun joined Hybe in 2021 and was named sole CEO of the company's American division last month. It's his first major move since joining the company, which signals further investment in North America from Hive. The company's U.S. portfolio already includes acts associated with Braun's SB Project, Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, Kid Leroy, and Big Machine Label Group, which features artists like Tim McGraw, Thomas Rhett, and Rascal Flatts. QC is one of the most significant independent labels in the world, Braun said in a statement shared with the New York Times. They not only distribute music, but they also distribute culture. Their artists are the voices of their communities. Quality control will be overseen by Hive America with QC founders Kevin, Coach K. Lee, and Pierre P. Thomas to control the label under Braun's direction. P and I are ecstatic about this partnership with Scooter and Hive and are confident they can get us to our global ambitions. Now, I'm going to circle this back to Offset, right? Maybe this is the reason why the Migos split. Rest in peace to Takeoff. Maybe this is the reason why they split up. Maybe Offset saw that this was going to happen. And he didn't want to be a part of it. Damn. Fuck. Jeez. Yeah. Like I said, maybe Offset didn't want to be a part of it. Maybe he saw it coming. One might say, under the direction of this man, Scooter Braun has been notorious for mismanaging before with other, not even labels, but artists, because he's a manager, obviously. One might say this could be the way things crash for quality control. Lil Baby might get, you know what I'm saying, something. They might try to make him do something musically that is not appealing to him, and that might be Little Baby going off on his own and doing something by himself. You know, maybe, you know, yeah, it's crazy. No Migos. Lil Baby is still there, but for how long with this new direction that they go through? But yeah, let me just play the video real quick so I can see what it's really talking about.
You know, what you said earlier about the acts that these guys represent and the things that they do, these are the voices of their community, and I think one of the things that was so important to me in this deal was to make sure that we partnered, but they also had the resources and the autonomy to continue doing exactly what they're doing, because I can't speak for their communities. They can, and I'm a fan of what they do. I'm a fan of these artists. I'm a fan of the work that these guys do. And, for us, it was just really important to, one, have partners who understand the culture, two, have partners that are part of the culture, and then three, have partners that have the freedom to continue nurturing that culture, and put me into the business. And, what you said earlier about the acts that these guys represent and the things.
The whole purpose of us, that was the whole purpose of us even doing this, you know what I'm saying, by bringing all of us together and being able to grow the artists and grow the business into different territories. A lot of times in our business and Black culture, we sort of get stuck in a box, and you don't get the global reach that a lot of these cultures get. And, with this partnership, you know what I'm saying, Scooter's been out here on the ground, coming from Atlanta background, and in the world he in with building business, and us being in business with him, and how this should bring more reach for us than we ever had to just, like you said, bring everything together culturally and be able to capitalize. The whole purpose of us, that was the whole purpose of us even doing.
So after like looking at this whole little section of the video, I don't know. One would have to see because at the end of the day, it is still they are still in the record business, and their biggest act, Little Baby, has gone international already. So I mean, you know, you lose one, you lose one act, which is the Migos. They break up, take off passes, and now it's just Quavo. Um, I don't know. One would have to see because I don't know. It something don't feel right about it. Something just don't feel right about this. Why mess up why give away why give away all that catalog, all that ownership to, you know, somebody who has no real idea what it is to like deal with, you know, culture. Why would you give that away for X amount of dollars? I don't know. Like I said, one would have to like really like keep eyes peeled, but I mean, I don't really trust it. I don't really trust that this man has their best interests at hand. And for that, your biggest one of your biggest acts that was your moneymaker, quite possibly a stable in today's modern rap, losing out on that alone, losing out on that brotherhood with that was enough. That alone just kind of cut y'all's cut a wire in y'all's engine. And who's to say that doesn't happen with Lil Baby? Who's to say? But I mean, hey, one would keep eyes peeled on that. The Rock wants to play Luke Cage. Matter of fact, actually, um, if I'm being completely honest, Mike Coulter. No, no, no. We got to take it further back if we can. Um, look for it. Give me a second here. So from what I've did research on, The Rock wanted to play Luke Cage. Like there were talks from like I believe like 2014 or something like that. Let me just look for it really quickly. And to be honest with you, if I let me look for it real quick. So his interest in wanting to play Luke Cage goes back as early as, yes, just like I said, either 2015 or 2013. So he was in talks with Marvel for a long time, and for some reason that never actually happened. Even though if I go like right now and I look up like a image of the comic book Luke Cage and The Rock himself, like here's one right here. I'm just gonna put it up on the camera so you guys can see what it looks like right here. That's what it looks like right there. As you can see, it's almost kind of like a spitting image, if you will, almost, sorta, kinda. Um, but I guess whatever talks that Marvel had with Dwayne kind of fell through, and they gave the role to Mike Coulter, in which Mike Coulter did a phenomenal job doing that series of Luke Cage for I believe it was 3 seasons, and then he just kind of stopped doing it because I believe what is it? Disney bought it. Disney bought a lot of the series and anything I guess associated with Marvel. So that kind of in turn made the show just go up in smoke, and we don't get the show anymore. I love that show. So I saw this video of basically Dwayne The Rock Johnson saying he's in talks with I guess the director of the series, the Luke Cage series.
Kevin Feige. I know our assistants have been trying to get us together for dinner for months now. We're both super busy boys, and I look forward to our schedule linking up.
Okay. And then I'm just going to go ahead and read the article for a little bit more in depth. Oops. Sorry. Gonna find you real quick and then move you out the way and bring you over here. Okay, so the article reads DC Studios may no longer like what The Rock is cooking. Now, that's another thing I'm going to get to a little later because of Black Adam and that whole thing and how that went up in smoke, and giving a reason why I don't think Dwayne Johnson should be doing any more superhero movies. But I'm going to continue reading. But apparently Kevin Feige is interested. Our trusted and proven source tells us that Dwayne Johnson is in advanced talks with Marvel Studios to join their cinematic universe. With his plans for Black Adam's future in the DCU shelved, at least for the time being, The Rock apparently is considering a trip across the street to the competition. In light of Dwayne Johnson's reportedly less than beloved status at DC Studios these days, the news that he's considering working with Marvel may not seem surprising at first. In fact, as early as a decade ago, less than a week after the 2013 release of Iron Man 3, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige expressed interest in working with The Rock while speaking with Collider. I'm a gigantic fan of Dwayne Johnson. I think he's incredible. He's awesome in Pain and Gain. He was great in G.I. Joe. He's really kind of an amazing human being, and I would love him to be a part of the Marvel Universe somewhere, someday. Dwayne Johnson was listening and responded to the Marvel head honcho not long after with a very direct message regarding who he wanted to play. He thanked Feige in a tweet and assured him, "I'll be ready." He followed with an image of himself in the WWF outfit next to a picture of Marvel Comics Luke Cage. 2 years later, Mike Coulter would become the MCU's Luke Cage in season 1 of Netflix's Jessica Jones, followed by his own series. The question of whether or not those stories and the others of so-called Defenderverse series are MCU canon remains up in the air, particularly since Charlie Cox's comments have hinted that the upcoming Daredevil Born Again may very well reboot the continuity. So it isn't out of the question that Dwayne Johnson could become Marvel's new Luke Cage. With the glut of fictional characters available in the source materials, there's certainly someone in there that Dwayne Johnson could play for Marvel Comics, if not Luke Cage. However, the Marvel roles at the top of most fans' wish lists for Johnson have been taken, including Namor, Hercules, Black Bolt, and Wonder Man. If Dwayne Johnson is hoping to play a Marvel leading man, his selections might be pretty limited. Some of the most obvious choices are characters who, like DC's Black Adam, fall on the unstable anti-hero side of things. Ares, the Sentry, and Hyperion. Any characters along those lines might be too close to Black Adam for comfort. So basically, the president of Marvel had wanted Johnson to be Luke Cage, and I guess whatever the reason was, he didn't decide to. They didn't decide, mutually to go through with there being a on-screen appearance of The Rock being uh, Luke Cage. Honestly, I think after the whole entire Black Adam thing, even no, regardless of how the movie did, I think just after the fact that whatever reports there were about, the thing with Superman, Henry Cavill, you know, and that whole debacle with DC and The Rock, I I truly just don't feel like I want to see Dwayne Johnson as another comic book hero. That's just what I think of it. I mean, after what Mike Coulter did as Luke Cage, I don't think I want to see anybody else as Luke Cage. Honestly, I don't think I can take another person being Luke Cage. It's like it's like Batman to giving Batman to somebody, making somebody who is not, who doesn't usually do those type of movies, that type of thing. I don't know. It's like giving Kevin Bacon the role of being Batman. Nobody wants to see Kevin Bacon be Batman. Like, if there's already like 20 billion versions of Batman, who wants to see Kevin Bacon as Batman? Nobody. No disrespect to The Rock. Grew up watching him and everything like that, but I don't want to see him play Luke Cage. I don't care how much of a resemblance that he has as Luke Cage. I don't want to see him. If you can't get Mike Coulter to come back and play him, then I mean, I will take the next best actual, like, the next best thing that you can give me. Dwayne Johnson is not the next best thing you can give me, and that's not to sit up here and boo boo on the man, but I mean, I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real. Black Adam was a very, like, regardless of what people say, Black Adam was a good movie to me. I actually liked it. It was very much action packed. I liked it. Um, but all the behind the scenes stuff just kind of ruined it. Kind of ruined that whole entire movie, and it ruins business. It ruins things going forward if he should ever decide to, like, if they should ever even consider working with each other again, ever again, in any capacity. you know um I was really rooting for that whole Black Adam thing too. I mean, all those reports of him not wanting to be doing anything with Shazam or anything like that. So it's like, then you're gonna go to Marvel, and what if Marvel asks you to do a crossover thing with another Marvel character? Are you gonna turn that down too? Like, what's up with that, bro? Like, if you can't work well with others, just say that. But at the same time, if he does become Luke Cage, I don't know. I don't know that I want to really see. Like I said, I'm just too used to seeing Mike Coulter as Luke Cage. If they do get somebody else, they just got to get somebody. Find another bald black man, I guess, because I. I mean, Dwayne is black. Dwayne is black and Samoan, and he's bald. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know how the execution will fare. Mike Coulter as Luke Cage, set in the middle of Harlem. That was like excellent the way they went about that. It didn't even seem rushed at all. It just was perfect. Like, it was a match made in heaven putting him in that role as Luke Cage. Dwayne Johnson as Luke Cage in the middle of Harlem, you know, I don't know. I don't know. time would just have to tell if they do, if the talks do move forward and there is like action and it goes into like production. I don't know. Maybe let's see. Let's just see what it looks like, you know?